Doing a pre-series review of the Yankees and the Colorado Rockies. Most people generally are thinking that we should sweep the Rockies in three straight and beat the tar out of them. On paper, if you actually look at those numbers, you'd probably be right. But there's a reason that we actually play the game. I want to welcome some of the folks that are here. The crowd is not big, but I'm sure people will jump in. Right now, I have Graham, I have Jason Custudio, it says there's more people than I'm seeing. Okay, they'll pop on and type something, then I'll know who they are. Uh, this season has not been a good one for the Rockies. Hey, real Bill, see you changed your picture, your icon. Uh, but we're going to start. The three-game set starts tonight at Coors Field. It is at 8:40. Clark Schmidt is going to be our opening pitcher. Uh, the Rockies have not announced their pitcher, so I suspect they're going to go with an opener today. Uh, that'll be a last-minute notification for Game 2, which is at 4:10 on Saturday. Our ace Max Fried will be on the bump versus Kyle Freeland. Game 3 will be at 3:10, and we'll have Will Warren on the bump versus Antonia Sensalata. Like when we walked into the Rangers series, it looked as if our pitching staff, our starters, was going to be outmatched by the class of the Rangers staff, and now the contrapositive is on this game where our staff looks like it's going to beat the tar out of the Rocky staff, and it may happen, but there's some things that I want everyone to consider. So I'll go over the generic facts. Of hey FJ, thanks for hopping on, brother. Appreciate you being here. Generic facts of the season. The Yankees are currently 30-19 with 11 games over 500, a series a high for us this season. Out of our last 10 games, we are 8-2. Our road record is 12-8 over 500, which is good, and our home record is 18-9, which is very good. When we've been facing teams that are greater than 500, our record is 15-12. So it's improved much since the beginning of the year. On the season, our series record is 10-6. So we've won our last 5 series against some very, very competitive teams. Some very competitive teams such as the Padres, the A's, the Mariners, the Mets, and the Rangers. Since the Padres series, it definitely seems like the team has gelled. They're playing as a unit. People are stepping up where we had some doubts. Warren, Schmidt, and our number 5 starter Yarbrough have all stepped up huge and are pitching above what their baseball cards read, and I am certainly glad of that. Our bullpen, for the most part, looks very good. There are a couple of folks that are up and down. They're hard to determine what the hell you're going to get out of them. Our lineup, the rookies / prospects, are starting to hit to form. There are a couple of people that are not doing great. But You don't need everybody to be firing on all cylinders to win games. And the important thing is that our team defense has looked significantly better than it has in the past, uh, with the additions that we had this year. Also, with the additions, we're able to hit left-handed pitching. The thing that impresses me most right now is our team leads the MLB in run differential. We're plus 95, best in the league. So we're scoring a ton of runs, and we're never truly out of any one given game. Now I'm going to go over the Rocky stats for this year. They are 8-42 on the season. 8-42. They are currently on a 5-game losing streak. In the Rockies' past 10 games, they are 1-9. Their home record is 5-20, and their road record is 3-22. When facing a team that has a greater than 500 win percentage, their record is 3-26. Their run differential is a negative 159. They've lost all 16 series they've played this season, and they are the absolute worst statistical team in baseball. Hey, Dev, how's it going? So, why do we even bother to play a game? Why don't they just chalk us 3 and let us get on to the next spot? Well, personally, there are things that folks should consider. And I'm going to share a screen with y'all. And if you take a little look at this this tidbit, which is very indicative of Coors Field, pitchers face a challenge when pitching at Coors Field. Low density air and high altitude affects pitch movement and ball flight. The thin air causes the balls to travel farther, and the break is less. It has less bite. Fastballs have less vertical movement, and it's harder for pitchers to control their pitches and keep them in the park. This leads to more home runs and hits. And when we look at our team, every pitcher that we have relies heavily on control and movement. Well, that's going to be nulled here at Coors Field. That's why the Rockies can never sign a free agent pitcher that wants to come there, because they know that their ERA is going to bump up at least 1 point. And all right. From Graham, just me, but we can't drop a game to them. The Jays might be getting hot, so we cannot mess up. It might be come back to bite us in the butt. Well, Jays are hot, are heating up, and we they're not keeping pace with us thus far. But just things to be aware of. The pitching in Colorado is not good, and so anticipate that these guys are going to get hit. But with the sheer volume of our bats and our capabilities, I don't see that as a huge issue. We're going to score a lot of runs, but they are too. Like I says, the first matchup tonight, we have Clark Schmidt going out. He's 1-1 on the season with a 4.41 ERA, dropping it from the 7.71 that he had earlier. Schmidt features 5 pitches, cutter that he throws 42% of the time, sweeper 24, curveball 22, sinker, and he throws in a changeup. So all of those pitches, as you can tell, require a lot of movement for him to keep the bats off of balls. It's hard to actually look at Smith's numbers because he started the season basically in spring training with us. He came up, his first 3 games were not good, but his last 3 have been on point. So the graphics that they have there on his attribute plus attributes and minus attributes isn't really accurate. He does have a high breaking ball run rate, which is going to be affected in Coors Field. He also has a low hard hit rate and low exit velo as his plus attributes. His negative attributes is a low low chase rate and a low ground ball rate. So they put balls up in the air on him, and with the environmentals there, that could be not such great news. Our game 2 matchup is going to have our ace Max Fried coming out, and he's got a 6-0 record on the season. He has a 1.29 ERA, leads the league. He has 60 strikeouts, features 7 pitches. He basically can throw anything, including the kitchen sink. He's our staff ace. I mean, there's nothing more to be said. Batting average against him is a 239, which is below league average. In Fried, the thing that we have to take note of in Fried's last 2 starts versus the Mets and the Mariners, he has gotten no decision. In his last game, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, no base on balls, 2 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. So it was more than something, a game he should have won. But he was faced up against, I can't remember who the ace was. I think it was I don't remember, but they shut the Yankees down, and it wasn't until we got to their bullpen that we actually won the game. So he didn't have any run support. The pitcher that we're going to be facing for game 2 is Kyle Freeland. Freeland is 0-6 on the season. He has a 5.68 ERA, and he's got 41 strikeouts. He features 6 pitches, a 4-seamer that is 91 miles an hour, and he throws it 20% of the time. Excuse me. He has a curveball that he throws 20% of the time, a sinker that he throws 19%, a sweeper 18%, and then he mixes in a cutter and a change. His plus attributes are he has a high chase rate, a low walk rate. His above average attributes are he has a decent ground ball rate and decent with regard to a barrel rate too. Negatives, low strikeout rate, low fastball velocity. Batters are hitting 299 against him, which is 40 points over league average. So he is very hittable. In his last outing, it was with the Phillies. His last outing was against the Phillies. He went 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 2 base on balls, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts. So it's a decent start. It was there in Coors Field, and the Phillies freaking power just ruled their bullpen. Their bullpen is probably one of the worst in the league. So for the Yankees, the big concern has been when we faced tier one pitchers, they've held us pretty much silent. And when we've gotten to the bullpens, that's when we've eaten them up. So for this team, there is absolutely no relief come starter or bullpen. And I suspect with them using an opener, their bullpen is going to be depleted right off the bat. Because, okay, Graham, you're right. So the last start for Freed was versus David Peterson against the Mets. Their game 3 matchup is Antonio Sensalata. Hey, John, welcome to the stream, brother. He is he is 1-8 on the season with a 6.34 ERA, and he has 25 strikeouts. He features 5 pitches, a 4-seam fastball that he throws 54% of the time, and it runs in at 94 miles an hour, so it's got decent velocity. A slider that he throws 23% of the time, it's 86 miles, so there's not a big speed differential there. A curveball that he pops in 10%, a change 10%, and then the random sinker. His good attributes is he has a decent ground ball rate and he doesn't walk people. So he's going to be around the plate all night long. Doesn't bode well for him. The batting average against Sensalata is a 339, almost 100 points over league average. So he is going to be very hittable. In my personal opinion, Sensalata is a little better than a batting practice pitcher. In his last 4 starts, he has lost to the Phillies, the Rangers, the Padres, and the Giants. All very good hitting teams, and 3 of those series are in Colorado. In his last game versus the Phils, he went 6 innings, gave up 10 hits, 1 base on balls, 1 earned run, and had 3 strikeouts. Also, numbers that could have been a win. And I'll take a second. I'm going to pop another couple things up there. So I see that Graham has got jokes. And if we look at the Rockies, their ERA is a 5.82, 30th in the league. They've allowed 63 home runs, 23rd in the league. They have a 1.61 WHIP, 30th in the league, and their batting average against is almost a 300. It's 298, 30th in the league. So their pitching is freaking horrible. When we run to their hitting statistics, they are hitting at 219, 28th in the league. They've scored 164 runs, 28th in the league. They have 43 home runs, 26th in the league. Their on-base percentage is 286, 20th in the league, and their slugging is a 361, which is 27th in the league. If you look at their numbers, Hunter Goodman is the leader in average with a 282 average. Then the next highest batting average is Brendan Doyle with 219. So that is a huge drop off. If you look at home runs, Jordan Beck has 8, respectable. Their second is Hunter Goodman. And if you look at RBI, Goodman has 31. So he's basically their offense. Taglia has 19 RBIs, but I think he's like top 3 in the league for strikeouts. He's pitiful. Herman Marquez, Chase Dolander, who I don't believe we'll see, or I know we're not going to see, and Herman Marquez are their veteran pitchers. Freeland, who we faced in Game 2, he's the league leader in ERA with a 5.68, and Freeland also has 41 strikeouts. So basically, they suck bad. And the long and short, on paper, this team doesn't have a chance, and you would tend to think that we would get right on them and really beat the tar out of them. And I'll just do a comparison with our stuff compared to theirs. Hey, NFE, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother. Second screen I'm going to share with you is our statisticals. And if we look at our pitching stats have all been decreasing exponentially. We are 7th in the league with a 3.42 ERA, respectable. We've allowed 43 home runs, 5th in the league, 5th best in the league, respectable. Our WHIP is a 117, fantastic. And batting average against us is a 206. That's almost 40 points below league average. So they are not hitting us. With regard to hitting, we're 5th. Our batting average keeps going down. We're at a 259, 5th best in the league, still respectable. We've scored 276 runs, puts us 3rd. 84 home runs, 1st in the league. On-base percentage, 343, 1st in the league. Slugging, 472, 1st in the league. So basically, we have a powerhouse offense coming into a team that has a really bad staff. Our buddy here, NFE, he's going to be attending the games this weekend. Well, tonight and the other nights, and hopefully we get some quick, short live stream updates from him. We can share. That is basically what I have for the pregame or the pre-series review, and I'm going to drop the link and let folks. No, that's not it. Give me 1 second. John the Beagle Dad, NFE, yo, don't jinx the team. He is not going to jinx the team. Right, I'm back. Now there's the link. So anyone who wants to hop up, please do so. I'd like to remind everyone to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I see a JT in here that I don't recognize. Welcome to the stream. And if you could share this channel out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your cats, the dogs. We have passed 100 subscribers and are looking to hit that next benchmark of 125. So any help that you guys can provide, I'd appreciate. We are going to be doing I'm going to be doing the play-by-play tonight, and I believe I'm going on at 8:35, perhaps 8:30, 8:35 to call tonight's game. So if you have the time, please drop by, say hi, and enjoy some of the play calling. We're about a half hour into the stream, and if nobody wants to come up, then I will cut this stream short. Let me get a comment from Graham. Basically, the crap and we are good. However, that does not always equate to win. Let's just be professional. Let the guys go out and go yard and get multiple home run dingers. And I see Jason Castillo hopping up, so we're going to bring him on. Hi, Jace.
There I am. Can you hear me?
Let's say, did your auto mic turn yourself off?
No, I got a lot going on, Ken. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, these programs open and stuff. But how you doing, Ken?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Enjoying my day off. Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody enjoys the weekend. Enjoy time off if you do have it. I know you're retired,
Indeed,
right, Ken?
my brother. Huh?
I said you're retired, right? So you get time off all the time.
You'd think that, but all these streams that I'm doing, that eats time up. Plus, I got grandkids that eat time up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's house stuff. So I always got something to do.
I see Real Bill. What's up, Real Bill? So what do you think about this weekend? I'm thinking sweep.
I'd like to see a sweep, but you know what? There's always that game that gets you. I don't like the things that I don't like. I don't like the altitude up there because the breaking pitches don't break.
Yeah. You know,
all of our guys rely on high run rate on sweepers, sinkers, sliders.
Yeah. I heard an interesting stat. I can't remember where I heard it on some podcast. Don't remember where, but this is Aaron Judge's first time playing in a Coors Field, which is
that's true.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking for Judge to at least get a home run or two in the Mile High. You would think so. I mean, we got to beat up on these pitchers. Like, I mean, I don't know how good these guys are because I don't follow the Rockies.
Oh, they are horrible.
Yeah, so I expect
the two pitchers that we have that we know that we're facing are 1-14.
Well, I mean, but I mean, they're not scoring much runs over there, so I'm pretty sure they're not helping the um the pitchers as well. But
Hey,
yeah, I
Stephen
mean,
B.
this would be a great series to start padding up the numbers. Maybe guys
Well,
like Volpe and Wells could get going.
we'll put it this way: Kyle Freeland, who's pitching tomorrow, they're doing an opener today. They haven't announced a starter, and that's what I think they're doing.
Hmm.
They had a 4-game set against the Phillies and got crushed. But Freeland, their pitcher for tomorrow, has a 5.6 ERA, 5.68 ERA, and he's the
Hmm.
best ERA on their team.
It's
The guy that we're
incredible.
facing after that has a 6.34. And if you look at the batting average against them, the batting average against Freeland is like 298, and the other one is 332 or 339. So people are tagging these guys left, right, and center.
Yeah, man. When you only have 8 wins on the season at the end of May, that says a lot about the pitcher staff. Anybody on this team you think the Yankees should look into? Possibly a trade or something. I know I hear a lot of McMahon, and I'm not sure if he still has it. But what do you think, Ken? Because they're going to be sellers for sure.
You know what? Historically, the Rockies don't sell. And if they're selling, they're going to want actual pitching. Ryan McMahon, Jason from 161 River Ave is really high on him. I'm not.
Hmm.
I don't like his savant numbers. Uh, I don't like his numbers away.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't.
Away from Coors Field, and that's the stigmatism of playing there. Even with the guys that made the Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
people wanted to know how much their numbers were padded by the playing 88 games there a season, or 81 games there. Excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not very high on the dude either. I pulled up his stats there. You can see he's not doing too great. A lot of people say that when you're playing on a team that's doing that bad, maybe that's what it is. But I don't think it's worth the gamble for the Yankees. Do something like that.
Ken, on Chris the Flash channel last night, I banned 8 people, trolls, and were bad.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm fortunate that I haven't had that problem really on my channel so far. Knock on wood. But every now and then you get some spam chats and some trolls. I could deal with the trolls. It's the spamming that really drives me nuts because
Yeah.
they don't stop and they'll keep
Oh,
creating accounts and it's popping up.
and we have Jonathan joining us. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I didn't realize you were live right now.
I'll be live again at 8:30 this evening to call the play-by-play for the game. So,
Yes, it's been a very rough few days for me. So just
Yeah.
dealing with an illness.
Are
I
you all
can
right?
understand that.
Feeling
So
better
what are
though?
your
Today I'm feeling better. Yes,
Awesome.
what are your feelings about this upcoming Rockies series?
I feel like the Yankees are going to win at least 2 games, if not 3.
Hey, Marshall, welcome to the stream, brother.
I have a good feeling as long as the Yankees can pitch well, I think they should have no problem in Colorado. And I expect the ball to be flying out of the stadium. So you might see a few home runs from Aaron Judge. That I know he has been down on home runs compared to years past, but I have a feeling he's going to get at least 2 in this series.
All right, Bill. Thank you, brother. We will see you later then. Be safe and drive carefully.
But Jonathan, the thing with Judge is that he hits them in clusters. So he'll go on a tear and
I,
and and
I
what's
yeah, I
that?
know it's very similar to maybe what Maris did in '61, where he started out everyone thought Mantle would break the record because he started out hot, and then Maris got hot, and then he continued to stay hot throughout the year. But of course, that was a one-year thing. But man, I think Judge also likes the hot weather, so expect when the weather gets consistently above 70 degrees in New York, then you will see the ball starting to fly out more.
Well, I'm going to make my prediction for this series. I'm going to bet that Aaron Judge hits the longest home run in baseball history at Coors Field.
Wow, the longest home run in baseball history, he'd have to hit it. I think Mickey Mantle holds that record with 535 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
And I don't think they accurately measured that.
I think that's the record. Maybe it's 565 feet. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I'm calling it here on Yankees The Ugly Truth, and that'll be an ugly truth for the Colorado Rockies when Judge dings it completely out of that damn stadium.
Here it says the longest confirmed ML home run in MLB history was by Babe Ruth in 1921, traveling 575 feet.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was accurate.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I don't think that was accurate, but I still thought Mickey Mantle. Here it says Mickey Mantle reportedly hit a home run 643 feet. I don't think that's accurate. I mean, I always thought it was Mickey Mantle hitting a 565-foot home run. But
hey, shout out to Joe from NY Yankees Mania. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you being here. I will tell you what, the Polo Grounds had the deepest center field in baseball. And I don't believe that anyone hit it out of center field there. That was over 500 feet at the Polo Grounds.
I never understood, and of course I'm not old enough to be around by then, but why were ballparks so deep before 1960? Every ballpark was so deep. Do you have an idea why?
No idea.
You know, that's why I love baseball, because it's probably the only sport where, besides the bases are 90 feet each, and we already know the mound is 60.6, but no field is exactly the same. Every stadium's different. It plays different. Where like a football field, you know, it's 100 yards. That's never gonna change. A basketball court is the same size. You know, a soccer field.
Goal is at the same height.
Yeah, and that's why I love baseball, because it's just different. No outfield is the same. No stadium is the same.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think the original Yankee Stadium center field was 498.
My goodness. Yeah,
and there are
that's
people
insane.
here that maybe Joe would know that better than me, because he may have been around.
Well, you know, Monument Park was in center field before.
Yeah,
actually in the field. It wasn't behind a wall.
Yeah, it was
players
in play.
would go out there and would have to play the monuments in play. I'm amazed they didn't have more people break their legs and get killed out there.
Yeah, I never understood why they never thought once they put a monument on the field, why didn't they think of putting it behind a wall, meaning moving the wall in? Once you have something on the field, why would you want just like the drain pipes in that hurt Mickey Mantle in his rookie year? He stepped in a storm drain, and that knocked his knee out, and he was out for the 51 World Series. Why even have a storm drain like that on the field where a player can get hurt?
Yeah.
I've always
Go ahead. Sorry, John.
All
I
right.
mean, you know when they opened up Minute Maid Park, remember they had the center field. They had like the uphill. It had like an extra little section where it was just uphill, and players were like getting hurt out there in center field, having to run uphill to chase down fly balls.
And Joe says the measurement is to center was 478. So that's a truckload further than any ballpark we have now. I think the configurations are funny. Like the Orioles, for instance, they've moved their left field wall out, then they moved it back in.
Yeah, they don't know what they want to do over there.
I'm reading this according to what Google says. Initially, Yankee Stadium had a 280 feet left field foul to the foul pole, 294 to the right field foul pole, and 500 feet to deep left field, 487 to deep center field, and 429 to deep right field. And the other renovations, the left and right field were changed to 395 and 370.
Interesting comment from Stephen B. If Babe Ruth played in modern ballparks, he could hit 80 easily.
Yes, same with Mickey Mantle. If Mickey Mantle played in modern, many, from what I was told, Mickey Mantle hit a lot of long fly balls to center field, particularly that were over 420 feet, that were either doubles, triples, or outs.
Hey, Crystal Flash, glad to see you joining, brother.
If you put today's ballpark, all those fly balls that were 420 feet and then were over would have been home runs. So in today's ballpark, probably Mickey Mantle would have had close to 1,000 home runs.
The the call for me between Mickey and the Babe, I don't give a damn what park they're hitting in. They ain't facing pitchers like we have now.
No.
They're not. And you remember, have you ever gone to the Hall of Fame and looked at
a long time ago?
Babe Ruth's freaking baseball bat was like a freaking tree trunk. That thing was huge.
His baseball bat was about double the weight of today's baseball bat. It was about 50 ounces.
So think about him trying to swing a Gorilla Club like that against a 97, 98, 99 mile an hour fastball.
Well, look, that's part of the game that was back then. I'm sure he felt comfortable swinging a heavier bat, and 714 home runs with a 343 career batting average. Probably.
The thing that amazes me about Ruth's 60 home run record is when he hit the 60, his 60 home runs was more than all the combined homers in every major league team put together.
Yes.
What year did he hit 60?
You look at the ratio of home runs compared to the league today. That's just unbelievable.
If you look at
games too.
If you look at Ty Cobb's history, Ty Cobb had a triple crown with 9 home runs in, I think it was in 1912 or 1914 something. 9 home runs is the lowest amount of home runs in a triple crown.
Graham, yeah, break it back then. You're looking for a tree to donate its life.
You said 1912?
I think it was 1912 or
I don't know if this is going to work, though.
But, that's the interesting thing, comparing the eras. We have the live ball era, the steroid era, dead ball era. And yet we have an amalgamation of these folks into the Hall of Fame, which is really interesting. I'm curious how they're going to treat now that the exclusion list for Rose, Shoeless Joe, the
It was not.
Black
It
Sox.
was 1909, not 1912. It says here Ty Cobb won a Triple Crown with a 377 batting average, 9 home runs, and 107 RBIs.
Yes, way
And
before
I'm gonna
my
bring
time.
up a comment. Jason, Ken, and Joe, I want to thank y'all for the Yankee shows. Y'all come in the clutch when I'm at work. Glad to be of assistance, brother.
Yeah.
Somebody's out there listening. We're out here talking. So keep on supporting.
Look, I always try to come up when I'm free.
But you know, Jonathan, and that's why, like, when you comparing baseball players, like different generations, is it's tough to do because it's just different. Too different.
You cannot compare the Hall of Famers of the past to today's baseball game. Today's game, the pitchers are faster. The pitches are much faster, and look, I am one of the people that do not like the analytics that they use. Sometimes it's better just to watch with your own eyes to see how players work and then try to correct the mistake and not have a computer tell you what to do. And I think some parts of baseball have been too reliant on the computer.
All right. Quick breaking note from Joe NY Yankees Mania. Atlanta designates Orlando Arcia, and Kansas City designates Hunter Renfroe. That's a shock. Yankee killer. I wish we had room for him.
Yeah, and also the Athletics are going to promote Logan Davidson. Whoever that
All right.
is.
Here's a question for y'all. Being that we are not sitting high with prospect counts and whatnot, what would you think if the Yankees tried to bring in Miguel Andujar to play third base for us at the deadline?
I don't think that's I don't think that would work. I don't know if his third base defense have improved, but the last time he was here, he was not a solid defensive player. He was a good bat. But I think if they bring a third baseman, they probably need a defensive first third baseman, not an offensive first third baseman.
I think and it's unfortunate what happened with him when he was here because at one point he was a doubles machine, and then he hurt his shoulder, I believe. But I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it depends on what we're giving up. I'll say that.
Well, the most unfortunate thing this year is Cabrera.
Yeah.
All right. From Joe, Ken, that would be the type of guy that would not play well in New York anymore. He had his chance to sign and he couldn't do it, but I hear where you're coming from. Yeah, he's not the same kid that he was when he came up back then. He's hitting over 300. He's got some power stroke. And if we were to trade for him, he's a 3-month rental. His contract expires at the end of the season. Yeah, so would I be willing to give up a boatload for him? No.
No.
Does he play adequate defense? I don't know. I know they've had him the A's have got him toggling between outfield and third base.
The other thing is the Yankees have very little prospect capital to trade since they lost a lot in the last 2 years. So their trade will be very limited.
And I don't like making trades with the A's. It never works out for us for some reason.
I don't have issues making a trade with the A's. I have an issue making a trade for a pitcher from the A's.
Yeah. Yeah, we remember Frankie Montas.
And Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, Montas. there's one more in there that I just pulled my hair out every time I seen them coming.
Yeah.
All right. And Marshall asked the question, who do you guys think we go after at third base?
I don't think there's very much we can do at third base, to be honest. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if they find an internal work at third base, someone from the minors.
Well, my thought is we got this kid Jesus Rodriguez down there at Scranton who is just blowing up. He catches. He is also the plays third base, so he's got a little bit of positional versatility. And
I've
if
only
we
heard
bring him
of
up
him
and give him regular at bats,
I've only heard of him as a catcher. So if he can play third base, then I would bring him up to play third base.
Yep, he's been taking reps at third base.
Well,
I think that right now, it's kind of early. I think teams are trying to see before they start trading players. They're trying to see where they at in the standings. Like, do they even have a chance at a postseason run? And we should know more in about a month or so. And then as we get closer to the trade deadline or All-Star break, then we'll kind of know, like, okay, these teams are not in it. They're probably looking to sell.
And from Marshall Brown, or do we bring up Jesus Rodriguez if DJ doesn't pan out? That would be my move. I would bring that kid up.
yeah, look, I think DJ will be useful this year. He might not have one position, but I think he can rotate between second and third.
Honestly, guys, I'm not thinking that we need to really make a lot of moves.
No.
Come trade deadline. We don't have a lot of prospect capital. Everyone seems, from the streams that I've been into and in talks, they want another top flight pitcher. I don't think we have the capital to obtain one of those, since every team that's a contender will be after them. We just don't have prospect capital unless you're willing to diverse a Lombard Jr. or a Spencer Jones, which I think are part of the building blocks of the team, part of the core. And let's face it, Hal wants to drop payroll, and the best way to do it is to bring these prospects up and let them develop into the players that they are.
Well, one thing to remember is that you have Lewis Hill on the way back. So let's say he comes back in another 6 weeks, for argument's sake. That would take you around July 4th. So if you get Lewis Hill, it's just like trading for a number 2 pitcher.
Didn't you say, Ken? Oh, I forgot who said it, that the Yankees were shopping Luis Hill.
Yeah, I read a couple articles that Hill is being shopped. One was Sports Illustrated, and I think the other one was Bleacher Reports.
Well, I'm not against shopping Lewis Hill if they can get something of value, but right now I don't see his value very high like it was. If they wanted to shop him, the best time to do it was before the season, after winning Rookie of the Year. That was when his value was at the highest. But you have to get something very good back for him. I'm not just going to give him away for a 1 or 2 year rental.
No, I agree.
Well, we've got 5 years of control with him. So
yes. So I would, if I'm trading a guy like Luis Hill, I want another young guy with years of control.
Honestly,
I don't like getting rid of young pitchers. I know sometimes you have to, but the
Well,
Yankees
between
have the Yankees have made that mistake in the past too much.
the Marshall brings up an interesting point that he would give up Clark before he gave up Heel.
I think, well, Clark Schmidt is healthy,
Exactly.
healthier. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it would all be depending on what I would get back for them. If I'm getting back someone like, for example, like just to be a fill-in similar to the Donaldson, there's no way I'm making a trade like that. But if I'm getting a couple of young prospects who has upside potential, then maybe I would consider it.
What about the Nats? You think the Nats would be sellers? They got some young guys
No,
there that I love. The
they
Yankees
got
to
some
get their
young,
hands on.
talented guys there, and they're
Mm.
building their core.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, he's a beast. Yeah, they got a bunch of all of them they got from the Padres too.
They
That's the
got.
funny
I was
thing.
about to say they raided the Padres cupboard for the Soto trade, and now those guys are up in the leagues and they're taking care of business. There's a reason that they made that trade.
Yeah, I mean, but I think somebody in the chat said it, and they're right. I don't see too many settlers right now, but that could all change though. We'll see. That could all
Well,
change.
if you look at last year with the expanded playoff season, everybody there were only like 5 teams that were completely out of contention. There was no way. Everyone else was close to 500, and with a good run could have made it. So they didn't sell off the people, and we thought like the White Sox were so bad that they were going to move Crochet and
Roberts.
Robert, and neither one of them moved. Matter of fact, they moved very little.
Well, how about this? And this is an idea I haven't heard from anybody, a professional or by the fan of a fan. But how about, due to the fact they have an expanded playoff, why not move the trade deadline back to August 15th, where it used to be? Because having a later trade deadline will, especially with an expanded playoff, will give teams more incentive to make a move when they have 2 extra weeks of knowing exactly what the end of the season looks like. What do you think? Should they pull back the trade deadline?
Actually, they talked about that on Foul Territory a couple of weeks ago, and it made reasonable sense to me. Graham Highlander posts, if Vivas keeps going and DJ is solid, would you think about trading Jazz?
I would. I would consider it. I would see whatever you can get for him.
I made a call to trade him during the offseason. I didn't want him in the Bronx.
Like the problem I have with Jazz is I think he's too much of a free swinger. I think he's swinging for the fences too much, where he should be just trying to get on base and steal bases. That's where Jazz can be the most impactful. If Jazz could take a walk, get a hit, and steal, then he could be the most impactful.
Well, Jazz is going to be Jazz with the bat. He's been that way his entire career. But what I don't like about Jazz is Jazz has an extensive injury history. I think in his 5 seasons, this may be the last season, might have been the second one that he actually played over 100 games. And as we're moving into the heat of it, where's Jazz? On the IL. He was talking, I'm going to only be out for a few days. Now they made the call. It's 6 weeks. He keeps going back to the media telling us he's going to be available in 2 weeks.
Well,
I just
remember something with Yankees and injury history. Whenever they say it's going to be a few days or 2 weeks, it's usually a month.
I think in Jazz case, I think they wanted him to sit down for a little bit.
What are you feeling? What are you feeling about Yarborough? That's what CD Card wants. Yarborough, I like Yarborough. I think he can be a very impactful player, just like Michael King. And who knows? Maybe if we keep him next year, maybe we can turn him into a starter in the spring training.
Me personally, Yarborough, we need a pitcher like him because you have Garrett Cole, fastball, Rodon, fastball, Hill, fastball, Clark Schmidt. He's a variant. He's a cutter guy, so he's fastball, a variant of fastball. So look at what Yarborough did to a home run hitting fastball team, the Rangers. He ate their lunch, step for step. With he was he the one that matched up with DeGrom?
I think
Yes, he
so.
did.
So
He did. Now, do you like him better as a fifth starter or as a long relief?
Fifth starter.
Fifth
easily.
starter. Right now, yeah. Right now, especially.
Who on this team would be your go-to long relief guy?
We don't really have one right now.
Long
And we don't have
relief.
lefties. That's why I like him in the bullpen.
Actually, Gomez would have been my option for a long reliever. Urendris.
We let him go.
Or not De Los Santos.
De Los Santos.
Mm-hmm.
He's come out. He's pitched at least 2-3 inning games for us and held the bullpen down.
Well, the last game versus the Mets, though, he almost was it versus the Mets? He almost blew it up.
He played versus Texas too.
That was Texas, yeah. He had the bases loaded and he got out of a jam, but it got ugly there for a second.
Hey, guess what? He got out of the jam.
Yeah.
Pitchers get into jams, and what you look at is the character and whether they have the nuts to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
He showed you that he could against a very potent lineup.
Yeah.
When Gil comes back, does one of the new starters go to the bullpen? When Gil comes back, maybe Yarborough would go to the bullpen.
Yeah, he's the odd man out.
I think Yarborough is probably the most likely option.
Me personally, I'd send Warren to the bullpen.
Warren also.
Even the way he's pitching right now?
What we're looking at is the Yankees' change in model for bullpen arms is high strikeout rate guys. Well, who are you going to get strikeouts with in clutch situations? Is it going to be Yarborough or is it going to be Warren?
It's going to be Warren.
Probably Warren has shown he can strike out a lot, but
I mean,
what we have only how many games has Warren pitched this year?
Probably 6.
He's started 10 games. He has 60 strikeouts, so he averages 6 strikeouts a start.
But you're not. What you need to take into account is 3 starts ago, he started throwing the 2-seam fastball, which has changed his game to Dimension X. So you look at the 3 games that he's pitched since then. He had 9 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts, and then 10 strikeouts.
I'm not familiar how you put the stats on the.
No, that's just on my end. I'm doing that. Yeah, it's
I'm not familiar how to do that, but
if you put exclamation point and then type in the name, it'll pop up. But I don't know, Ken. I disagree though. I think I'd leave Warren in the rotation and then put Yarborough back in the bullpen. That's just me. Unless something changes, you know. Because I don't think he has. Go ahead.
Warren is too good to be in the bullpen. Warren needs to start. So there's an agreement with you.
Does he have experience? Did he come out of the bullpen last year at any point?
No.
That's the
no,
thing.
Warren,
I think
Warren did spot starts for us. That's why I discount his last season.
Mm.
When he started in Philadelphia, he got told that morning, "Oh, you're going up to Philly to start that game for us." And I mean,
Yeah,
he
that,
came out with no preparation. He did okay. His other two starts that he got hammered in, it was the same thing. He got called up with no notice. This year, he's actually with the team, had prep time, been able to go over the films and know what he has to do with these pitchers. Plus, he really didn't have a familiarity with the catchers last year either.
yeah.
And for a
Not,
pitcher, that's the trust factor.
I think for like a guy like Warren, a young guy like he's doing so good right now. I would just leave him alone until he starts. If he starts reverting back, then yeah, maybe the bullpen. But something like that could really derail a pitcher, man, if he's not ready for it.
The other question I have is with Schmidt starting today, what's your expectation from Schmidt?
CT.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? Hey Jonathan, I was listening to you. What were you going to say? I really want to hear what you're going to say about that.
About I just asked Ken and Jason before what is your expectation from Schmidt tonight?
I would like to see, I'd like to see him get above 6 innings pitched. And hey, Jason, hey Ken, sorry,
What's up,
I'd like
CT?
to see him get above 6 innings pitched because that's seemingly his third time through the rotation was the issue he had last season before he got injured, and right as he finally was able to get the third time around the rotations when he got injured last year. So hopefully we can work him up. I'd like to see him get deeper into games. And definitely, as Ken said, he's starting to use the two-seamer. Or not, sorry, I'm talking about Clark Schmidt, sorry. Will Warren's been using the two-seamer. But no, I think Clark will have a good start tonight. Let's just not play down to the Colorado Rockies.
All right, a question from Graham. Trade Jazz and see if we can prize Peralta. Bucks aren't trading schemes. I don't give a shit who you offer.
Not happening.
Peralta, Jazz would be an interesting player, but I think that you'd have to put in a prospect arm. Maybe somebody like Henry Lou Lane.
No, I honestly don't want to trade Lane. I think he could be a great pitcher eventually. I mean, he's only 19 years old. So I know the Yankees have a history of trading young arms, but I think he's one of them that they will regret trading if they and they need to protect him on the Rule 5 draft when that time comes.
The Pirates got another young stud pitcher by the name of Bubba Chandler.
Yes.
He is excellent. I'd love to get the Yankees get their hands on him. But he's still in the minors right now, but he's really good.
Yeah, he looks good.
Well,
I've been watching some of his games. Yep.
The problem with the Pirates is they are great developmentally with starters, but when you back into positional players, they're not very freaking good.
Yeah.
And they use they use those starters to draw in prospects that are higher caliber to fill position.
The question is that then, Ken, is there a trade that the Yankees can do for one of their starters, because the Yankees have a lot of infield prospects?
Yeah,
there are trade like Jones. Jones, I think, is one that could be pried away from the Pirates. He's a decent starter. I think he may be their number 2 in their rotation, actually. Yeah, Chris, you can hop on.
I think they announced the pitcher, Gordon.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with him either.
I don't know anybody on Colorado.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of them, I'll be honest.
Who's been paying attention to Colorado? They stink.
Where's NFE?
Actually, I watched the NL West with my son.
What do you think?
I only have access to the New York market and MLB Network.
So, what do you think about the start from the Rockies? Do you think that they're the next White Sox of last season?
Well, at least
Yeah,
in
I had a
this
great game.
series, I
Chris
hope
the
so.
Flash. Hey, Chris, welcome, brother.
Hey.
Appreciate you being here.
What's up,
Chris?
y'all?
Chris, what's up, brother?
What's up, Jason? What's up, Ken? What's up, Jonathan? What's up, CT?
Hi.
Good to see you, Chris.
No, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I hear you had a band fest on your channel yesterday.
I don't know what happens on my channel, Ken. It's just a lot of trolls being nasty. Yeah, a block list, you know.
Yeah, we had a couple here, and I didn't have any moderators. Right after that shit happened, I started to load them up.
Yeah.
That's how you know you made it.
Yeah, when you get trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, trolls usually happen when you hit 100 subs.
Yeah. I said that to Joe earlier because he got a couple trolls the other day, and I said the same thing.
I'm trying to help Joe create moderators. He doesn't seem like he can figure it out.
No, I think he needs somebody to help him set up the
I tried
settings.
to help him. He don't answer me in the chat.
Oh, okay. Maybe I could have Chris. You have my number. Maybe you could text me the details, and I'll text Joe and try to step him through it because I'm pretty bad with YouTube myself. So,
Well, I was online trying to get him set up with moderators, and he wasn't getting it.
yeah.
I could have asked him to accept a remote access and me just do the damn thing myself, but it's been years since I've done that, and I don't really like having access to other people's computer systems.
No.
I did that once and came across stuff that was illegal, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Leave it to Ken, man. He's got the greatest little speeches here. I love it.
Well, I mean, for me, I was in the Navy for 31 years. I worked with the White House communications staff, so I had a TSSCI clearance, the same thing that the President of the United States has, and something like that would get my ass thrown in jail and loss of clearance and loss of job. So, not wanting to risk any of that stuff on that kind of garbage.
No. So I am now that I'm on though, I do have to ask. I wanted to ask you, Jason and Jonathan, and now that Chris is on, and I already know Ken's feelings on this a little bit, but what do you guys think about Jason Volpe and Dominguez? And do you think Jason Volpe should be lower in the lineup, like in the 7th or 8th spot, or do you think because all of a sudden the numbers have changed, like in the last week?
Your question was a little bit confusing because you said Jason Volpe.
Oh, sorry, Jason Dominguez and Volpe, because Ken and I were on Joe's channel the other day discussing.
I think Volpe should be batting 7th. I think he should be batting lower in the lineup where he always feels more comfortable. When he's on the top of the lineup, he feels like he's swinging too hard, swinging at bad pitches. He doesn't feel comfortable. I know everybody expects him to be Derek Jeter. He is not Derek Jeter, and he won't be Derek Jeter. You just need him to be a solid major league player. Forget about expectations from anybody. Just get on base, steal bases, which I would love. I don't know why they don't send Volpe every time. He's just dancing back and forth on the base, and it's. I don't understand. That's one thing about the Yankees that I've never understood, why they don't just send Volpe anytime he's on base. And I don't give a shit about the analytics. The fast guy, he can steal. Let him steal.
Marshall, your thoughts are appreciated, and you're welcome.
How about to say, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I'll go just real quick. I think that the, like Ken said the other day, like the left right, whatever that Boone loves. I think that really affects where Volpe is in the lineup. But I agree though, he should be lower in the lineup. I don't think that it's gonna make him be a better hitter, but because he's not producing, he should be lower in the lineup?
I think my opinion. I think I've said this on plenty of occasions. I think Volpe should be back ninth. So when the lineup turns over, they have speed and on the bases. I agree with Jonathan. I don't know why they don't send him. He's one of the fastest people on the team, which it don't make sense. And I don't know when I said this, but I feel like people are forgetting when Boone said this. I remember. I don't know if I'm tripping or not. I remember when he said we need to bunt more. If Volpe's struggling, which he is, I feel like he should bunt just to see if he can get a hit. Maybe that might, get him out of the slump and see maybe, maybe that might get him going. Because I just don't understand that. Like, this team doesn't bunt as much, which I understand. They all for the home run, but he doesn't need to hit home runs. We don't need him to hit home runs. And he needs, I don't know. I just think he needs to steal more. I just my opinion.
Well, that's one thing I've said in the past too on different streams. The players that are not the home run hitters should play more small ball. Should not, a guy like Volpe and Trent Grisham shouldn't always be swinging for the fences. Even though Grisham got hot for a bit, he's cooled down in the last 3 weeks. You should get him to slap the ball to the opposite field. Maybe use his speed when he gets on bases. Same thing with Volpe. Try to learn how to hit to the opposite field. That's what they're missing, because everybody is pulling the ball.
Well, me personally, with regard to Volpe, I don't give a shit where he hits. He could hit first, he could hit fifth, he can hit ninth. Wherever he hits in the lineup, he's going to be stuck with a situation where we're going to need him to come through the clutch. Hitting is hitting, no matter where you're at.
Well,
Either
that's
you're a good
why
hitter or you're a bad hitter.
As I said, that's why they need to learn how to hit to the opposite field and stop pulling the ball on every swing.
Yeah.
And with regard to the stealing aspect of it, you guys know that I do a lot of analysis. I watch almost every Yankee game and I track plays. I think the reason that Volpe is not stealing is because he's not able to. He's not got a good read on the pitchers. He's not timing them right. That's why he does all that crazy dancing shit.
And you got to be on base to steal. Right?
Yeah.
He's been on base. I mean, he leads the team in steals. He's got 7 of them.
That's not a lot.
It could be where he's batting in the lineup though. That to CT's and Jonathan's point, because when you
if he's batting in front of Judge, he ain't stealing.
Exactly, Oh, when you have Dominguez behind you, well, maybe not Dominguez. That's a bad example, but yeah. But that's the new thing, though, Ken. The dancing on first base, apparently. I don't agree with it. It's too easy to get picked off
next.
like that.
You're gonna see Volpe doing a moonwalk next to first.
I know, right?
Like, what the hell?
But Chris, man, I gotta call you out, Chris, because before the season, you had a bromance with Anthony Volpe. Me and you went back and forth.
I don't have a problem
several
with
times.
I like that Volpe is on the team because as a defender, he's a hella defender. It's just we need him to pick up his production when it comes to his at bats. That's the problem. He keeps trying to swing for the fences. We don't need you to swing for the fences. We got enough people that do that.
Yeah. I just had to put it out
there. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. Even though I love Volpe, you say this every time on your channel. I was right about Paul.
No, you were. That's right.
Well, if you look at the guys who get on base a lot, the guy usually they hit between 20 and 27 home runs with a high on base percentage and a high average. Similar, and that's what I would like to see from Volpe. I think he should stop pulling the ball on every swing, try to go to the opposite field and get on base and steal a base. Use his speed to your advantage. if you don't do that, then what's the point?
Well, you know what I want? I want Jazz Chisholm every time he hits a fucking pop fly or a can of corn to the infield to drop at the plate and start doing fucking push-ups like Major League with fucking jackass Willie Mays Hayes.
Well, maybe
Willie Mays Hayes.
Can be the
'Cause
manager.
that
You can do
That dude is fast and he should be legging balls out. I don't give a fuck about him hitting the damn home run.
No.
No,
He needs to get on base where we can take advantage of his speed on the base paths, and I don't like him swinging for the fences.
like be honest, y'all, and this is just my opinion. Will we be mad if Volpe hit between 10 to 15 home runs, but his OPS is 850?
Oh, I'll take an 850 OPS all day.
Like that's what I'm saying.
No issues with that whatsoever.
Another thing I would think Volpe needs to do, he needs to try to choke up more on his bat because his swing is too long.
Is he using one of those torpedo bats?
That's the same thing with Vivas. If you look at Vivas's swing, until he hit that home run against the pitcher yesterday, he has a long swing and he couldn't catch up to fastballs, but he shortened it up and he tagged that ball.
Yeah. You notice his helmet isn't flying off either.
Yes,
anymore.
I was about to say that.
He must have got a smaller helmet.
Come on,
Finally, that was driving me nuts, dude.
I know.
I can't. I'm sorry. It was. I was like, come on,
I
dude.
first had brought that up.
I'll tell you one player. You look at Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks. That dude's helmet flies off more than anybody in the major leagues, and he's one of the fastest guys. And when he kicks it into gear around at second, that damn helmet is in the outfield.
I'm not gonna lie. If Volpe was putting up stats with like Corbin Carroll, I wouldn't care about the helmet.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't even care. You can take the helmet off, whatever you want to do with it.
You know, Corbin Carroll has like 15 home runs right now.
Yeah,
that dude, he's a beast.
So he could bat without a helmet. I want to get.
he had an off season last year because of the injury to Alec Thomas.
Yeah,
and he was forced to be center fielder. He's actually a right fielder, a plus right fielder. He is not a great center fielder. And him trying to learn a new position and trying to get his thing done, his numbers were down. But he's back in his home spot, and he is kicking ass. He is a fantastic ball player.
Yeah, he is, man. He's one of the best in the league, in my opinion. He's up there.
and
I'll tell you what, the Diamondbacks have an outstanding core, and Ketel Marte, best second baseman in baseball.
Facts.
And one guy that I would like to see the Yankees try to acquire, fantastic glove from the Diamondbacks, is Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
If the Diamondbacks were willing to move him off at the trade deadline, he'd be a target that I would definitely look for.
And he's got pop.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
he's a low batting average guy though, but he got pop. We saw he hit a grand slam. I mean, he's the one who hit the grand slam on us, right?
I called a game that he hit this season that he hit 4 damn home runs in.
Yeah, I remember that versus Atlanta.
And he is a plus defender. So you want a solid glove with a guy that presents power, the standard profile for a third baseman.
So what would you trade for him?
Well, the need that the Diamondbacks have this season with their injuries are bullpen arms.
Oh, we got plenty of that.
Yeah, we got bullpen arms to spare. Trust me. We can make that deal happen.
So you would trade a guy like Tim Hill?
Oh, in a second.
What the
Hill?
hell?
I would consider I'm at the point where I would fucking DFA Tim Hill because he ain't worth a shit. Everyone was like, oh, we got to bring Hill back because he did great. Well, guess what? He's fucked up the last 4 outings that he's been in. He hasn't looked even remotely good. His shit is extremely slow. And when you throw an 89-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate and you have a professional major league hitter, what do you think's going to happen? The shit's going to get T-boned.
I'm not going to lie.
But I would consider moving Hamilton to them.
I'm about to say Hamilton. Hamilton's been too inconsistent this year.
Yeah, he's on the shit list for me.
Out of him and trade him.
Hamilton would be gone. I'd even consider moving one of our guys that's on the IL that's working his way back.
That's the
Scott
ugly
Efron.
truth.
Fuck, I'd almost send him for free.
Scott, I forgot he existed until like the other day.
Well, Fernando Cruz is on the IL.
15, right? And that retros to the 19th, I think.
And
But,
the other guy on the IL is Stroman, 15-day IL.
Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this because we get too many injuries in the bullpen. Would y'all trade for a bullpen piece?
Efros is not on the IL anymore.
if a bullpen piece, are you talking back end like a Ryan Helsley?
Like a 7-inning, 8-inning person, something like that.
Well, I mean, if you truly look at it, the way our rotation line or our bullpen lines up, you would end up with Warren as your closer, Williams as your 8th-inning guy, and Johnny Loizaga as your 7th.
Like that.
I wouldn't trade away any arms. If anything, I'd be adding.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because like, I didn't see too much in the Orioles series, but would it be a possibility if because I didn't see him too much. Is it Batista?
Batista.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Their closer.
Why didn't I move him and get something from him? I know he's up there. He's not old, but I know he's kind of up there in age. I think he's like 27, 28.
But would they even trade with us?
I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
We got Britain.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for an arm, for a bat, I don't think so. I don't think they'll trade a bat with us.
The thing is, the Orioles, they need arms right now. They need everything. They need a manager too,
Starters.
apparently.
And we got starters.
What would be a good trade with the Orioles you would do? What would you want from the Orioles, and what would you trade?
I want Gunnar Henderson.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it's not happening.
The Yankees had a
That's
chance
what I
to
want.
draft him, and they drafted Volpe instead.
Yeah.
I drive Volpe down there.
They could have got him for free.
I
Yeah.
know that's Oh.
I'm with Jonathan on that. We could, what could have been. But Ken, wait a minute.
And actually, if you do a side by side comparison of Henderson's stats with Volpe's this year, Volpe is outperforming them.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think
We could have actually drafted.
I'm an old guy, and there was this Cleveland Indian by the name of Joe Charbonneau, Jolton Joe. He won the Rookie of the Year, and he was a fantastic ball player for one season. His sophomore season, he went from a 300 hitter down to a 100 hitter, and he played a couple more seasons and was out of baseball. He was done.
Well, that reminded me of Aaron Small.
Yep.
He was 10-0 one season, and the next season you never heard from him again.
Yeah.
I like Highlander's comment.
Which one? Oh, keep dreaming.
Hey, man.
Hey, FJ. Cracked me up. Sorry.
You got to speak it into existence.
I mean, I'll tell you what, the Orioles this season have disappointed me because they had that new ownership group by the team, and they had expectations, that they were going to spend some cash to help build the organization up, and they did less than dick this offseason.
I'm surprised they let Burns walk.
Me too.
I think Burns wanted to be on the West Coast.
That's what the problem is. Like, I think when they let Burns walk out that door, I feel like that brought the team down a lot.
The team had faith in him, and then he was a guy who carried the team, and then to not re-sign him was shocking to me.
Well, it wasn't shocking because he's a free agent and he wanted to be on the West Coast. So it wasn't. I mean, if they signed him in Baltimore, they probably would have had to give him
But John,
Garrett, maybe even close to a Garrett Cole type contract.
I was about to say, money talks. I remember when CC didn't want to, and we paid CC a little bit extra just to pitch here, and look what happened. He loves New York. So it just all depends on the money. The ownership they was gonna spend money, they lied, and once you do that, like I said, you bring the team morale down. Like Barnes was their ace. Barnes was dominating last year for them.
So the response is to fire their manager, who has a less than shit team put together for him, and that's the job of the manager, the fall guy for everything that's fucked up. Every time something happens with the Yankees, look at Boone. Boone is getting kicked in the teeth, the balls, the neck, every which way but loose. But the dude has a winning record.
Boone can do anything, and he won't get fired. That's the one thing we learned. Anything Boone does is just going to be a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, the manager is the fall guy, though, and you watch the cries that are going to come flying from the fan base when this trade deadline, we don't make a big move and pick up a pitcher like Chad Green or
I honestly, I'm not expecting a big trade deadline for the Yankees.
You guys want
you should be following all these damn people that are on the Twitterverse and a lot of
the people on Twitter know shit about baseball. They react based on what they see, not doing the actual research of baseball.
Well, there are a lot of content creators that are doing the same thing on YouTube.
Well, then they should just learn what they're saying and maybe take a vacation off of Twitter.
I don't make a move. I think they like maybe a piece or two away. It's not a huge piece that they need. They just need a piece.
Yeah.
Like I'm not expecting no huge trade. Like, oh, let's trade for like Peralta from the Brewers. I'm not expecting that.
Yeah, even
like you guys brought up a name, Chad Green. Do you really want him back?
No. All that I'd rather sign David Robinson for free. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah, Chad Green was he gave up home runs and like some of the worst moments where you get the first 2 outs. And then all of a sudden you get 2 guys on and then give up a 3-run homer. And you were like, you got to be kidding me. He was like, and you'd be at like a 1-2 count. And somehow, he was so frustrating for me to watch. So I really don't want him back as a Yankee, but that's just me.
Yeah, but one guy that's out there that I do want back, and everyone tells me I'm full of shit and I'm crazy, is D-Rob. He's a freaking free agent right now.
And
he is a fantastic arm. Every time I say D-Rob, there's a discourse from the Yankees. Well, there wouldn't be a discourse if you paid his ass and brought him back into the major leagues. The guy is
I'm not
old,
opposed. I'm not opposed of him, even though he's 40 years old.
That's what I was gonna say. He's older than me.
He's not older than me.
No.
You look like a young man, Jonathan. You're aging well.
How old?
Fuck you. I'm an old man then, huh?
I thought you was I thought you were in your like 30s.
Tell me, how old do you think I am?
45?
No. Just based on what you said. You didn't think I was.
No, you said that he's older than you. So
yeah, I'm a year older than David Robertson.
Oh,
okay, yeah. No, you look younger. Look at me. So I'm all white, haired up.
Man, I'm old then. Like what Chris, how old are you?
I'm the youngest. Thank God.
This is not fair. Ken and I are the Jason, wait a minute. How old are you?
I'm going on 41.
Oh, see, I got you beat. Okay. I'm 46. So Ken and I are the oldest in the chat right now. Ken, how does it feel?
Hey, I'm doing my thing. I'm retired. I got plenty of bank, so I can sit here and fuck around on this
Yeah,
YouTube
well,
channel stuff all day long if I want.
this is why you have your own channel to do whatever you want,
Exactly. I have the time
and
that I can
nobody can
dedicate.
kick you out.
I've been a baseball fan, since the '60s. Yankee fan since the '60s. Matter of fact, my first game my dad took me to was at Old Detroit Tiger Stadium, and I had the privilege of seeing Mickey Mantle hit a home run completely out of the park.
Wow.
Like that's what Judge is going to do today.
Oh yeah.
And I became an instant Mickey Mantle fan, and I have loved him throughout his career.
Look, I'm always curious what could have been if Mickey Mantle had taken care of himself, didn't get hurt as much. He probably would have played until maybe until he was 40 years old, and he probably would have had close to 700 home runs, maybe even more.
Yeah, but
Coulda, shoulda, would have.
I seen a graphic of Mickey Mantle one time. They showed all his injuries in his career. Like that, it needs to be studied. I don't know how this guy was still alive. Yeah, so like every part of it, even on his face. I'm like, how do you get injury on your face, dude? Like every part of his body, he's injured at one point or the other in his career. It's crazy.
But Ken, did you ever see Roger Maris?
No, that was before my time.
That's my guy. That's my favorite Yankee. I love that 61.
Roger Maris ended his career, I believe, in '67.
Yeah, with the Cardinals. Yeah. He played 2 seasons when he was kind of injured the last season.
Because he played from the Yankees. If I remember correctly, he was on the Yankees between '60 to '66, and then he went to the Cardinals in '67.
Yep. I have all those baseball cards. That's one of the guys I collect. Like right now, I'm almost done with my Whitey Ford collection. I just need his rookie card right now, but I just haven't found the right one yet. So kind of being patient. But I gotta show it to you when I'm home. I got a 1953 Whitey Ford Topps card that was my dream card as a kid, and I finally got it, and I'm ecstatic.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a nerd.
No, I used to have a great card collection when I was younger, but I don't know. I joined the army, and I don't know what my mother did with all this stuff.
That's the story. Like everyone has that story. I don't know what they did with them.
I came back home from basic training, and it's like I never existed.
You were out of there. They were like, he's gone.
I knew then I wasn't coming back.
Well, that was the rule of foot for my 4 sons. When you walked your ass out the door with your stuff, don't ever plan on returning because the door's not going to be open.
Okay, the ugly truth.
My one son who got out of the Navy, actually the Navy asked him to leave because they didn't want him to re-enlist. He's married and had a kid, and he wanted to come move back in the house. I said, fuck no, you ain't living here. He's like, but Dad, where are we going to live? I says, you got other in-laws, go live with them. Well, we don't like them. I says, I have every modern convenience on the planet at this house. There would be no incentive for you to get a job, to do anything other than soak up my air conditioning, watch my damn 65-inch TV, listen to my surround sound, make a fucking mess, and be unproductive. Fuck you ain't coming back. None of the other ones ever. And he ended up moving in with his in-laws. He hated it so much that he got himself a job and was able to carry on with life.
Well, maybe sometimes that's the incentive. You have to do something you don't like in order to get your ass to work.
Yep.
Well said.
I'm reading.
What the hell is Chris doing?
I don't know. He's probably on his phone.
Okay.
He should mute his.
He's gone now. All right, fellas. We are at 1 hour and 39 minutes, my longest live stream that is not a play-by-play. So I'm going to shut it down.
Yeah, I was looking if they released the lineup yet, and I haven't seen it. I expect it in the next hour.
I looked a couple of minutes ago and didn't see it. All right. Well, Chris is back.
Colorado's
All right.
lineup is up.
My
That's
bad.
about
Somebody
it.
calling me.
Well,
We got
check back in an hour. You'll probably find the lineup online.
Look, I didn't really talk about the series too much. Because I know Jason was just talking about Aaron Judge gonna smack the ball. I'm gonna tell you right now, another person that might have a good series against his old team, I think DJ.
GG.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maybe.
DJ's been hitting the hell out the ball too. DJ's been hitting the hell out. He's been unlucky. I feel like he's gonna have a good series.
Well, I will tell you what, Androlis Garcia fucking had like a laser finder for his damn balls because he made 2 excellent catches
Yes.
that robbed.
He had a laser
Rob
finder
LeMahieu.
for his balls.
Oh shit!
I'm just joking. I had to. I couldn't let it go.
Yeah, I know. It's that freaking military humor, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are killing me here. Oh, yeah. This is
No,
good.
but DJ's a good pick. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Hey, and we have Max from Max Coverage TV hopping in.
What's up, Max? What up,
Yo,
brother?
Are you at work?
We got a good group of people in the chat. This is nice.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
But long and short, I thought when the season came out that the month of May was either going to make or break us because it looked to be the toughest part of the season that we're having. And we're actually doing very well, surprisingly. Winning 5 straight series, I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. The gelling of the rookie/prospects coming up, looking since the San Diego series, they were looking real sharp. And the back end arms, that was my biggest concern was the back 3, and those guys are stepping it up big time. And the bullpen has been the bullpen. We always do it.
I think something that we've really seen in the month of May is finally seeing Bellinger get going. And
Yeah.
he's been so clutch for us, and this is what we got him for. Hopefully he stays healthy,
Yeah.
Like I says, we've got the best thing that could have happened to the team, in my personal opinion, and most fucking people hate it, is Juan Soto leaving.
Yeah.
I didn't want to re-sign him. I knew that we were going to be screwed if we did.
I agree.
Thank God he's a Met.
I didn't miss it. Like when minute I heard he didn't sign with us, I was like, phew. And then all of a sudden we got Max Fried, we got Bellinger, we got Goldschmidt. And then when we got Devin Williams, I'm like, this is, in my opinion, we have a better team without Soto. I don't think we would have been in the third
This
place.
lineup is a more balanced lineup.
Yeah.
It's and I'm also very happy that Torres is gone. I wish they traded Torres at the deadline last year.
100%.
You know what's funny is, have you actually looked at Glaber's numbers?
He needed a new fresh start. That's what he needed.
He is doing fantastic in Detroit. He's hitting over 300. I don't think he's committed an actual error this season at second base there.
He's got a lot of prove right now, and obviously with the Yankees, he didn't. I don't understand the lack of hustle last year with him. He just didn't seem into it, And now with this year, you're watching with the Tigers, and it seemed like he needed a fresh start. I guess
He never hustled at any time with the Yankees.
No,
He never was a good glove.
Yeah, I call Verdaggy doo-doo.
But
his glove was.
I tell you what, though, he
I don't think he could handle New York. New York is not for sissies. Everybody will either cheer you or beat you out of the borough.
But he was great at leadoff though in the postseason.
Oh yeah,
He was one of the guys that really he set the tone for everybody else. He was getting on base at a
You had
crazy
to
clip.
but you had to bench him to get him to like.
Yeah,
It's kind of like moody, you know what I mean? Like you want
yeah.
a clubhouse with the right team, and I think moments like that, and you could tell. I remember the game where he missed a play, and I just remember his teammates, all like 3 different teammates, were really mad at him. You know what I mean? And I think that was like the game before Boone actually benched him. But that's the type of drama you don't want in the clubhouse. And I feel like this year, I mean, look at Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt, he is hustling every time he hits the ball, running to first base. He is hustling. And this whole team hustles. And last year we had I said for Verdagi Dudu, and Torres were just lazy, at times, and it was so frustrating, to watch. So I like this team a lot better. Sorry, not trying to come back to that.
Well, you know what helped Torres like not do too good too mentally when they put him at short. I think when they put him at short, I think that stopped everything for him because he was doing too much at short, and I think it was messing up his mind. He's like, oh, should I be a good defender? Oh, should I hit this day? Oh, this, that. If I do this, if I do that, and I was like, I think it was just too much for him.
I knew
think-
last year.
Yeah.
This is
sorry.
one thing the Yankees really have to do, and with going forward, in my opinion, they have to figure out in spring training who plays where, and then keep them there. They have to. All the decisions about the positions must be made before the season.
You know what killed Glaber with the relationship between Glaber and the front office when Jazz came and his unwillingness to play third base or even consider it. I think at that point they knew they weren't bringing him back or even
Well,
going to try.
me
I was gonna
personally,
say that.
if I was Glaber, I would have said, "Fuck you! I'm not moving to third base either."
But
The
King,
Yankees are notorious for mismanagement of players.
look,
You look at one player, for instance, IKF. IKF came to the Yankees as a Gold Glove third baseman. Did he ever play third base for the Yankees? No. We decided, he played third base. Let's make him a shortstop. And he got killed. The fans tore that man up, left, right, center. He was the fall guy for everything that was screwed up.
I never wanted Donaldson on this team. I thought that was a big mistake.
Yeah, but the big thing was that the Yankees wanted to move Gary Sanchez, and that's how they did.
Shit. Yeah, put him in a package. Get something else. You don't get a guy like Donaldson with $24 million on his contract. Get someone. Get a low-level player that nobody will ever hear from again, and just get him off the team.
Well, I was about to say too. When they asked Torres to go to third, that brings my point up. Like I feel like when he had a bad experience at short, he was like, "No, I'm not going to third." Like Ken said, "Fuck you." Like you already messed me over at short. Why would I go to third for you?
I'm sure that he knew the writing was on the wall. He wasn't coming back to New York.
No.
So you're going to put him in a position that he looks like shit and decrease. I mean, he cost himself hundreds of millions of dollars. He was the top second baseman as a free agent, and what was the best he could do? A 1-year, $15 million contract.
I thought he was going to go to the Mariners, but I mean, they worked out for them. But they got Polanco, right, instead?
Yeah, they got Polanco instead.
Mm-hmm.
But the Yankees are notorious for making shit type of trades like that too. Where we ended up picking Donaldson up.
Oh, yeah. We know. You remember? We was all happy when they traded Jordan Montgomery. We like, yeah, we about to get a picture.
The other guy I never wanted them to trade for was Gallo. And the guys they traded for as part of the Gallo deal could have been valuable at second base.
Or third.
The guy like Josh Smith. Josh Smith could have been a valuable second baseman last year, and you could have traded Torres at some point. So these trades for these unnecessary infielders have consequences long term if you think too short-sighted. I mean,
hell, Gallo
was the Gallo trade anyway.
Gallo's 3 teams removed from the Yankees, and he's still bitching about how traumatized he was playing in the Bronx.
So if he
Gallo's a
if he
pitcher
was
now.
if he
Well,
was
if his
if
ass
he
would
was
have hit,
so
he wouldn't have
bad,
been traumatized.
I don't understand why they got him. That trade, I think that trade hurt the Yankees in more than one way.
I'll tell you why.
Because
It's
of the
analytics.
prospects.
They saw
Analytics. The Yankees the Yankees analytics suck, and they're so bad they should just be thrown off the George Washington Bridge.
You know why? You know why too, Jonathan? And I think because they knew they effed up when that whole lineup was full of righties. They want to wait to the trade deadline. Oh, I'm gonna get lefties now. No, you should have did that off season. We needed lefties.
Yeah. Maybe that was the time to trade for a guy like Soto if they could have.
Yeah, but you know something that I keep seeing pop up is reopening negotiations to bring Arenado in here, and I just start losing my shit every time I see that.
And if you want an Arenado, you should have got him 10 years ago or when he was a free agent.
I'm not allowed. I was pushing for Arenado in the offseason. But but not for that price tag. They would have to eat a nice chunk of the money.
Some of that money, if we're gonna
but you realize with his price tag, he also has deferral money that comes after he retires.
Yeah. I think
it's like,
I don't
it's
remember
like
what
6
it
years
was.
worth of deferral money. So that's what we need to do is bring in a has-been and then have to pay him when he's not here anymore.
Well, we're still paying Hicks.
I know we're out of that now.
His money came off the books this year.
This year, so this is the last year of.
No more Hicks.
No, last year was the last year we paid him.
Last year.
Yeah, that was a bad contract. The Severino contract was a bad one in my opinion.
But Severino was only 4 years. Hicks was 7. But yes, it was a bad contract. I mean, if I was given into a contract to any of the Yankees still in arbitration, I might give a contract to Wells. I think he could live up to a long-term contract.
I already got.
No. He can't hit his weight. He can't throw the damn ball to second base. Fuck giving him a contract.
I'm not gonna lie, Jonathan. Wells ain't looking too hot.
I was on Wells last year.
Out of all the choices,
he said he could live up to it.
Everyone was, you're full of shit. You're a Wells hater. As a matter of fact, you go into all these goddamn streams, and I say one word about Wells, all of a sudden it's dogpile on me. I mean, Wells is such a fucking awesome thrower to second base. In a steal attempt this year, he threw and hit the pitcher's mound. How the fuck do you hit the pitcher's mound trying to throw to second? And he's a good guy. And I was so pissed last year. Every time he was on the plate, and he airmails a fucking ball to Judge in center field. Oh, that was really close. That kid that we traded to the Mets, the catcher, Torrens. Look at that guy. That guy fires BBs out there. They don't steal on him. And he's got a little bit of pop in his bat, more than freaking Wells.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. You're not a fan of Wells.
No.
Well, I was about to say this too, Jonathan. Before I forget it, like that's the reason why, and it kills me that we didn't do it because we would have saved. I think if we didn't extend Sevy or that deal would have been good, I think they would have extended Judge. But I think because that Sevy deal burnt them, they was like, come on, we gotta see. And I feel like that's why they didn't extend Judge because they would have saved a lot of money. They would have saved a whole lot of money.
Max says you have a Austin Wells jersey back there somewhere. Okay.
You talking about a kid?
Yeah.
Last year they traded they traded Torrens for just cash, so they gave him away.
I mean, we've traded a lot of catchers away, and
but nothing.
What we have left, I don't think is high grade, and personally, I'd rather have the other ones back.
Man, you know it's crazy too, and I don't know if y'all agree with this. We probably wouldn't have Wells if they didn't mess over Joe because Joe had Gary hitting. Like Joe had he. That's the problem. They didn't like Joe because he didn't baby fight his players. I feel like if we would have kept Joe, Gary would have been the player that we thought he was gonna be. Because most people don't realize this. A lot of good managers are catchers. A lot of good managers are catchers, former catchers. So he was having his best seasons with Joe Girardi. They didn't like it. So then they said, "Oh no, we're gonna bring Boone because Boone's more better protecting the players and stuff like that."
Well, the other coach that they had
Pena.
that was working with them on the catching
Yeah,
is Tony Pena, and he was one of the best catchers in Major League Baseball. As a Pirate, you couldn't throw a ball past that guy, and if between those two, they couldn't get that guy Major League set. We traded another catcher to Seattle, and he became a DH for them, Montero.
yeah.
Mhm.
Jesus Montero.
We got a catcher in the coaching staff.
we
Assistant
had
manager.
we traded him for Michael Pineda.
Yep.
But he never became a good catcher, and after we traded him, he fell apart.
So I'm gonna make a prediction. Austin Wells is gonna hit 2 home runs today.
Yeah, I think
That's
you're
right.
smoking ass too. I'll lay money he goes. His first at bat, he's going to strike out on 3 fucking pitches, swinging at shit that's completely out of the strike zone. Then he's going to pop up to the infield. He might pull a hit out of there somewhere. But
So I guess here's another question that we're talking about managers. Is there anything Boone can do this year that the Yankees will say, we have to move on from Boone?
no. I mean, people were pissed that he got a contract after he took us to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. Oh, why the fuck did we extend him? Did you think you were going to fire him?
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people, but it's one of those things though, Ken. When you think about it, is like, who else are you gonna bring in there?
Well, the only guy they have that can immediately replace him is Brad Asmus.
No, but
that's the only guy they have right now who can immediately replace Boone.
I'm going to bring up this one from Max.
Okay.
Ken, didn't you draft Wells for your fantasy team? Well, fuck yeah, his dumb ass is on my fantasy team, sitting on the bench. The other catcher I have is the catcher from the primary starting catcher from the Diamondbacks.
that's why Ken is so angry at him.
So Ken, let me ask you this: would you trade for a catcher?
Would I bring in a catcher?
Yeah.
You know what? My off-season move would have been to sign James McCann.
Okay.
From the Orioles. He was a great mentor for Ashley Rutschman. Could get him in the groove. Rutschman, I don't know if you recall, early in his career, that bastard couldn't throw to second base either. But he worked with McCann, and that guy is bullets. So I would have thought that a mentor type catcher to help improve his defense. I mean, McCann's not a fucking hitter at all, but he's a great defensive catcher. I think it would have been beneficial for Wells. But instead, we bring up an Uber driver who plays every once in a while. And
I know this is going to be controversial, man, but we got our catcher, Ben Rice, baby.
No, you're back, Ben Rice.
Let's see what he got. I like his bat
we've
enough.
Seen the times that we've seen him, shit.
Yeah.
Can't throw to second. Can't throw to the second base bag. If he was a catcher, you're going to end up getting Volpe killed because he always throws to the first base side and leads him right into the fucking runner.
But at least he could make it over the mound, though.
Yeah, he could make it over the mound.
Oh shit.
No, I feel like his bat is too good to be playing one day on, one day off. Like, you got to find a way to get him in there. What about you, Jonathan? You like Austin Wells?
You know what? One of the fucking disadvantages of having kids that are adults?
What's that?
They steal your fucking socks. now my kid who doesn't watch football at all is wearing my Kansas City Chiefs shirt, jackass. Every time I turn around to go try to grab a goddamn shirt out of my dresser, it's gone. I look and he's wearing it, or it's in his laundry pile. I'm like, where the fuck are all my clothes at?
Well,
Before you get mad, Dad, I don't have any clean shirts, so I borrowed one of yours.
why don't you tell him you live here too? Do your laundry.
Well, that's what he's doing right now. I guess he took the shirt off his back.
No, I soaked the entire front of it was washing the dishes.
My daughter's a Chiefs fan.
Your daughter's got taste, bro.
My daughter's a Chiefs fan. My son's an Eagles fan, ironically enough, and I'm a Giants fan.
No taste.
So I failed as
And
a
you're
father.
a who's fan? You're a who's fan?
I'm a Giants fan. I like the Giants.
You know you're a closet Cowboys fan. Keep not gonna
Oh
bullshit
no,
out.
no. I hate it. I live in Texas, Ken. And
Yeah, I know you do.
when the football season starts, like you have neighbors, they pull up like the big inflatable Christmas cowboy bullshit. Like it's everywhere, man. I hate it. I can't stand it.
I'm in the same boat as you, Jason. So I feel bad.
Oh, you're a Cowboys fan?
No,
No,
I'm
just playing.
so
Oh yeah.
our team's in the same situation. So I trust me, I understand.
And of course, Max, with Max Coverage TV, standard for him. Go Pack, go.
Sunil's the only Dallas Cowgirl fan. Oh my goodness.
But you know, sports talk, having fun, enjoy streaming. Now we're at the 2-hour mark, and I am going to cut this one short
All right.
because I do have play-by-play at 8:30 night. So those of you that can hop in, say hey. 15 minutes after the game is over with, head to NY Yankees Mania with Joe, and I'll join him for a quick post-game review. So appreciate everyone that has been here. Had a good time, and want to thank all of y'all, Chris, Jonathan, Jason, and CT for coming up and giving me a hand and having a little bit of fun with baseball like it's supposed to be.
Well, there's just a little bit of breaking news for baseball, not Yankee
Okay.
related. It said Ben Lively is getting Tommy John surgery, and Andrew Vaughn was optioned to the minors.
Okay. A little bit of baseball moving here and there.
Yeah, in the last minute.
Thanks for the update, brother. For those of you that are still out there, if you haven't, please hit the like. And I know that there are folks watching in the shadows, so subscribe if you're not subscribed. And share this out with everybody. We just hit our 100 subscriber mark and are looking to get to our bench 125. So I'd like to do that sometime this century. Appreciate y'all being here. And going to get the last thoughts from you guys. Jason?
Oh man, let's go Yankees. You know, we're rocking and rolling right now. Let's keep the momentum going and increase the lead in the AL East, which is pretty weak right now.
Okay. Jonathan?
Well, I'm hoping to have a good series and take advantage of a weak team in the Rockies. So I'm hoping for at least 2 games or a possible sweep.
And Chris?
I appreciate you having me, Ken. Appreciate being back in the Yankee Forum. You know, I've been doing my own thing on my channel, so it's good to talk some Yankees here and there. And yeah, CT, my boy, you gotta fix your internet, bro. Get that Payless internet out of there.
You're welcome anytime. You know, I do the streams at 10:15 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then whenever we have a series, I'll do a review for the following series. I've been doing some play-by-play, but that's not normally my main thing. But my wife is in Texas right now, and I have less than nobody here at the house, so I'm going to call a game. So appreciate you being here. And my walking thoughts, I think that we're going to have a great road trip. I'm betting that we end up maybe 7-2 on the trip. So, and I'll end it like I normally do. Let's go Yankees. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you in the funny papers.
Thanks.